There's no doubt about it, designing a pharmacy is a complex business, and in more than 17 years of designing pharmacies throughout the UK, one of the biggest questions that we ever get asked is, what is the process? How do we start with a design and how do we move that through to a completed project? And in this video we hope to lift the lid on all of that process and show you exactly how it's done. The very start of the process is all about learning more about the customer and what their specific vision is for their pharmacy and what they want to achieve once the pharmacy design is done. Now we've got our survey drawing, we know the space that we've got to occupy, we know where the services are, we know where the doors and the main entrance is, and basically the space envelope that we've got to work with. And now it's the time to get the coloured pencils out and the tracing paper and start to design out the space and how we're going to use the space at a very top line stage. So we'll get our tracing paper out, I'll put a ruler on there just to hold that. Okay, now when we look at this space there's a number of considerations that we need to think about. Obviously our customers are coming in front entrance here, and the back entrance is really fire exit or perhaps deliveries, depending on how the client wants to use the space. But obviously the dispensary area in this situation is always going to be towards the back end, perhaps there, which we'll mark that as a dispensary there. And then your office and back of house areas like stock room, WC, which would have to be a disabled WC in this instance, will probably be over here, so we'll call that back office. Then this is our sales area, quite a lot of space at the moment. We've got some glazing and double doors at the front, so this is our only area of natural light. So perhaps here we'll think about retaining those as much as we can to give us the natural light in. The client wants at least one consultation room, but ideally two, so let's put those off the sales area, and for now we're going to put them perhaps in here. We'll have to talk about the sizes that they are, and that'll leave us with our sales area there, and perhaps we'll put our sales counter, oh that one doesn't work, we'll put our sales counter somewhere about here. So this is all of your sales area, consultation room 1, consultation room 2, back office and dispensary. So that's the starting point for what might work for this pharmacy, and it will give us the opportunity now to put a bit more detail onto that and see where we get to, and that will be the start of our first, what we call, initial plan. So from our sketches it's time for us to produce what we call the initial plan. This will be the first drawing that we'll present to the customer for their consideration, and in this case this is what it looks like. As we said, at the back our dispensary would be occupying this back corner. The back areas, which is staff, stock, office space if you like, and a disabled compliant WC is there. The scripts waiting area is close to the handout point and the main counter, and in this case the client wants 2 consultation rooms. In this instance we've made them both the same size. We do lose a bit of glazing at the front of the front elevation, but that can't be helped in this instance. But all in all, this ticks all the boxes that the client has asked us for, and it starts a journey of us working with them to basically to tweak it and make minor changes that will suit the client's operational needs. So we've produced our first initial plan, we've presented it to the client, we've had a look through how everything works, the dispensary workflow, the sales workflow. The only difference that the client's requested now is a larger consultation room. So he wants a small one and a large one. So we've had a look at the plan there. And this is very typical of what happens through the process of designing a pharmacy. So this would be our new plan, which is essentially the same, but you'll see here there's a larger consultation room and a smaller one. Now That has meant that we've had to alter the counter and we've lost a gondola, but the client in this situation is happy to lose some of the gondola shelving to make way to provide a better service provision for his customers. So after our discussions with the client, we know he wanted a larger consultation room, and we've done all that. We've made the changes, which has meant that we need to change the counter. We've lost a gondola from the sales floor because there wasn't room for it. And we've also changed the handover, or lost the handover position from it. But now that layout has been signed off by the client and he's happy to go with that. And now we can start thinking about the technical sides of the things that we need to include. So these are things like electrics and data, so we'll consider all of the points within the pharmacy and what electrics and data we need at whatever points, and we can get all of those on there. And also then on to things like ceiling, lighting, fire safety equipment, smoke detectors, call bell units, all of the things that we need to do to comply with building regulations, flooring, and also elevation details that we'd need to produce for the shop fitters. So we're starting now to put everything in there that you need to actually build this project on site. So now we have our working drawing pack together, which is everything that you need to move towards the on-site activities and actually bringing the project to life on site. It also allows you to then go to competitive tender as well, because you've got a full set of working drawings that they can use to price against, and they are then pricing apples for apples, which means that you get a real comparative price. This is the only way to guarantee exactly the right outcome for your pharmacy. We've been designing pharmacies now for more than 17 years, and we've developed a very collaborative way of working. It's very important for us to work together closely with our client, and it's the only way that we will deliver exactly the right outcome and the pharmacy that you've always needed.